Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're doing a bit of a top 10 on KIZUNA Legends over in OPTC, putting them on a tier list for you guys to break down sort of the best characters to the worst. Now, KIZUNA Legends have come a long way in previous time, and honestly, it's not for a good thing. KIZUNA Legends used to be so damn powerful that they were pretty much must summons. Now, because we get one every single month, they're kind of lackluster. They've just kind of become fodder. Like, I've actually pulled quite a few of these KIZUNA Legends just on discounts and stuff that are still sitting in my box at level 1, which is really sad to think about because, like I said, they used to be so powerful. But I thought with the release of all of these game modes getting Legends every single month, we'll do a tier list to sort of break them down in terms of the top 10. Now, it's obviously going to shift over time as we get more characters and stuff like that, but just be mindful that I feel like nowadays, because of this reasoning of every single month we're getting a new KIZUNA Legend, new Treasure Map Legend, new PvP Legend, that these types of characters are kind of like the rare recruits of what once was. Super Sugo's Anniversary Legends, they're probably like the Sugo tier, and then rare recruits are kind of just fodder nowadays. So every like KIZUNA Rare Recruit and Treasure Map Rare Recruit, use them for the boosted month, but then they'll kind of fall out of line. As for the way that I'm going to break down the value of these characters, I'm going to try and rank KIZUNA as the highest value for these characters, because obviously all these characters will be boosted every single KIZUNA, but stuff like they're using Treasure Map, there's stuff like you're using PvP, and in stuff like PKA as well, is going to help me rank what characters are the most valuable for your account. But if you enjoyed the video, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. With that said, let's dive in. Alright, so I have a tier list here. I do have all of the KIZUNA characters on here. We only have 19 of them. I'm just going to kind of do this so you guys can see that I do have all of them here on this tier list, but obviously they've just been cut out a little bit because of the way that I've sort of enlarged the tier list. So we are doing a top 10 in today's tier list. I figured like that's probably the best way to rank these characters, but realistically the top 5 are really the only ones that we kind of want to focus on. My top 5 I'm pretty like locked in on, but the bottom 5, they're kind of moving around a little bit. But let's get started. We do have one Super Evolution for KIZUNA characters as of the start of 2025. We have Sanji and Pudding as a 6+ legend. They kind of do very similar things. But starting it off at number 10. Who wants to have the number 10 slot? I'm going to give it to S Snake. And again, I might move these characters around as we go through the tier list. Because like I said, I'm pretty locked in on my top 5. I'm just not so sure about the bottom 5 and what order they want to be in. But S-Snake is a character that has not received a lot of love. On paper, she does really nice things. She's a cerebral powerhouse character. She gives you that damage reduction conversion buff. She can remove the chain multiplier when you're above a certain... attack down with chain multiplier above a certain limit. She has very good value. She just hasn't seen that much value in the actual game for how much worth of what she's trying to do, which is a bit of a shame because like she can output a lot of damage. I used her initially when she first released on a 1 trillion super boss damage team, so she has the damage there. She needs a Luffy or another bow on the team to do some fun stuff that way, but she's really only valuable in big damage teams. On top of that, she is pretty good in PvP. She can see some value there, but her usefulness with that utility to get around the attack down above a certain chain will eventually be useful, and I can definitely see it being something that is going to be quite nice. Moving at number 9, I'm going to give number 9 slot to Chopper. Chopper, again, another character that doesn't get enough love, in my opinion. He has the ability to remove pain in his captain ability, which is ridiculous. Now, we have other ways to get around pain nowadays with, like, HP Guard, Yamato, and Shiroshi Mantra, and that just to remove it by sort of 7 to 10 turns. And he's not always going to be the one character you want to go to actually bypass this, but, like, just having it flat rate and a captain is so damn nice for stuff like 10-star KIZUNA and in areas of like PKA, for example, where they just throw it at you. So he's going to be very valuable in that regard, but just like S-Snake, we haven't really seen him take off in the sense of, well, this is his value, let's see how we can use it. In PvP, he's fantastic, very good on the in-team, great with the Cerebral lineup with Atlas and stuff like that. Takes down Free Spirit and Strikers very nicely, and he's a very, very underrated character in my opinion. Next, I've got X-Drake. Now, X-Drake's kind of held his worth because of his powerhouse striker capabilities and his value with the Beast Pirates. He was great alongside the original Super Tandem Kaido that released way back when, being an attack booster, being a chain boundary unit, and he gives a lot of damage. He's also very good at getting around special reverse for powerhouse and strikers, which they don't have a lot of, so he has his value there, and he has seen a lot of play in the future, or in the past. I can still see him having a lot of play in the future if we do get more Beast Pirates, and we do need him for stuff like Super Tandem and stuff like that, but he's definitely starting to fall off a lot. But I think just because of his value with what he's had, like his unique value, I think that's what ranks him nice and a little bit higher for me anyway. Next, I'm going to bring up Sanji and Pudding, the 6+ KIZUNA legend. They're very good. Their 6+ didn't really get that much of a buff, but with Cerebrals and Fighters having so much love lately, it's kind of hard to ignore what they can do. They are a very solid captain ability. Obviously, being a 6+, they have like a more modernized captain ability, unlike some of these other characters. They can hit fairly hard. They have a very good color affinity buff. They can completely remove damage reduction and threshold, which is still very, very valuable. And they're a very, very good character. They're a Sanji unit, which can kind of hold you back with team building, but like, when it comes to finding Sanji characters on fighters and powerhouse and cerebral teams, like, you're not really having too much clash with stuff like Zoro Sanji. So, very, very good unit. They're okay in PvP. I've tried them in PvP. They're not, like, that great. But if you just have, like, a bunch of damage reduction threshold thrown at you, this character is going to help out a lot. For me, I always find just using something like Gear 5 6-star in the Gear 5 form to bypass defensive effects, or using something like Carrot or the Sulongs. For me, like, that's the route I usually go down, but I can respect what they can do. And their tankiness is what makes them so damn nice. Moving in at number 6, I'm going to bring up the Vega lads. The Vega lads, they are very interesting. They have an ability where they can give Vegapunk characters cooldowns, and then you can kind of just keep popping off all of these specials with their captain ability. They also give themselves cooldowns as well when another Vegapunk character uses specials, but it's very wonky in the sense of how you want to use this character and the cooldowns that they actually give themselves. So they are very, very good. However, they do struggle a little bit in terms of like what special order you need to go off, and you do need to obviously have the other Vega characters to actually make them work. However, they are the last Vega character to release in Legend form, so most people have all the other characters already in their box. Stuff like Lilith maxed out, Atlas is already there, you've got York and all those rare recruits from Treasure Map 2, so they're a very, very good character. Again, just a little bit harder to use, in my opinion, compared to some of the other characters. But in saying that too, they are still very, very strong and can definitely build up some really nice big damage teams when it comes to that sort of cerebrally based build. So, very good character, very fun character. I would like to pull them eventually, but unfortunately, I just don't have them. As for some honorable mentions before we get to our top 5, I want to give some honorable mention to Boa in PvP. Perispero for his ability never to take off. Like, on paper, he's so good. Reiju and Otama are two characters that I was talking about earlier where they're just sitting in my box. Same with Whitebeard. I literally haven't even I haven't leveled them up. They're just sitting there. They're just like, cool. I want to give a shout out to the worst legend of the year of 2024 being Tobi Roppo, and then the worst legend of 2023 being Kaido Crew. Again, like, the prowess of KIZUNA legends was so damn strong way back when, and now they've just been kind of thrown in because, hey, let's make a legend and let's make people summon. So, all of these characters you see here, including Iron as well, these are all honorable mentions, I guess, but they do hold out the bottom 9, so you can probably guess where I'm going with my top 5. So, starting off at number 5th, I'm going to give it to Vegapunk Stella. I have Stella just above the Vega lads because Stella can work amazingly as a cerebral captain. Unfortunately, he's just gated to having 6 cerebral characters, which does hurt him a lot, but when you sort of buy into that, or use something like Luffy on the team, and then you turn him into a cerebral, you can do some really, really fun things. He can give different buffs, and you can select what buff you need, making him very versatile. His captain gets around bind and paralysis, which is great, and then he needs, obviously, other Vegapunk characters as well to just flourish. These two characters together are so damn good. Whether or not using this guy as a captain, and using this guy as captain, this guy as a sub, you can pop his special, get the cooldowns back, then get like 2 more buffs for something else. It's very, very strong. But as for the ordering, I like the utility that that Vegapunk Stella gives more than what the Vega lads are doing in terms of damage output. But in terms of what they do for the Vegapunk team, both of them, very, very good. Very, very strong. Next character I have on the list is going to be Shiryu. Shiryu is exceptional. Very, very good character for powerhouse teams. Amazing synergy with Blackbeard. The downside to Shiryu is he wants to be at very low HP to get the maximum potential out of him with the auto proc of his captain ability. So not only do you need to be at low HP, you need to be at low HP moving into the next stage, so you auto proc his special, then use his special to get the double whammy of the increased damage taken, the weakening effect, all that fun stuff. He does have the invisibility ability like Sober Mask and Queen. His goes for 5 turns, so if you run him as captain, he can bypass a lot of nasty effects. Problem is that you have to run 2 Shiryus to get like both your captains to be bypassing this. If there's content that's just like your friend captain gets inflicted or your captain gets inflicted, he's going to work great in that regard, but it's very rare that you actually see that. In saying that though, like I said, his synergy with versus Blackbeard is what makes him so strong, in my opinion. Powerhouses need a character that has the set target ability. He does the set target for slashes as well, but look, they already have cross guild, so it's not that valuable there. But that powerhouse set target is what allows him to just get a lot more damage output when you partner him up with something like Blackbeard. So he's very good. Again, another character that I haven't really like shot off, but like when you do get him to work, he can do disgusting things with big damage teams. Moving into the top 3 now, I'm going to bring up Brook. Brook's going to be my 3rd character on this list. Brook is absolutely insane. And the reason Brook's insane is he has the ability to give you a, resilience buff, so you don't die. But they knew that having a revive like V1 Brook was so broken that they just couldn't do it again. So it's nice that he has this, but the real draw to his character is he removes silence. He is besides the Halloween Uta, he's the only character that can successfully and reliably remove the silence debuff. As a captain, he can auto-proc his special when you're below 30% HP, and you can manipulate this to auto-proc a silence removal on the final stage when needed if everyone gets inflicted with silence. Obviously, like, the game is it's very rare that it gives you a full border silence because they know no one can remove it except for Brook. And he's the only way to sort of get around that if it gets thrown at you. He was so good for the Cotton Candy evolving event. He's so good in 10-star KIZUNA when you have silence thrown at you. And he's going to be like the only character that can sort of work in that regard. Plus, he's a free spirit slasher. Like, the free spirit slashers are automatically going to be at the top of this list. They are some of the most powerful characters in the game. He gives a very nice all buff. He gives a final tap buff, so he can help out with damage. He's very good in PvP on the free spirit team, providing another revive for those free spirit characters. So, like, you have, like, Luffy, you can already revive 3 times, Zoro can revive, and then he revives a character. Like, you can do some really fun stuff there. Plus, he does half stats, which is very valuable as well. So, very, very good character. Not one that sees all that much usage anymore, but it is still very good. As for number 2, I have Sabo and Ace. Sabo and Ace are continuously showing their value as a KIZUNA legend, and this is where, like, initially, the most broken legend came out being this particular character. Great utility with Blind, Despair, Special Mind Removal. Their captain has utility in it as well. They give an all buff for 3 turns for free spirit characters. Obviously, you need a Luffy on the team, but, like, that's not that huge, that's not that big of a detriment. They're just great in terms of, like, 10-star KIZUNA runs. They're always going to be boosted, which is really, really nice. They provide damage, they provide utility, and in Grand Voyage, this character has seen so much value in some of those harder, like, events, namely, like, the Buggy fight, over in the Syrup Village fight, so they've had value there, unlike a lot of other characters on these particular tier lists, where they don't really shine too well in that particular game mode. Like, Grand Voyage is not really made for these types of characters, but to see a character like this shine so well, it does give them a lot more value. As for number 1, though, number 1 character, as everyone probably knew going into this tier list, it's Toki. Toki breaks the fundamental aspect of artificial difficulty. The game has evolved so much that we can do so much damage and we can, like, break down stages so well that the game has been forced into hitting us with stuff like artificial difficulty. And artificial difficulty means that they would just say, oh, we're just going to special bind a quick unit for 99 turns. Basically stopping you from using any quick character. And usually when they release, like, such a broken unit and they want to stop the unit, then they will throw something like this at them. Or they'll give them, like, 99 turns of silence on turn 2. Well, if you bring something like Toki, you can apply the Toki ability to that unit, and then it just bypasses it, and then you don't have to worry about it. And that's what makes the character so good across the board. In Super Boss, regular 10-star KIZUNA, Treasure Map, hell, even PvP, you can run them as, like, an anti-dex variant. They are so good in every facet of the game. Standing the test of time. Very good captain still. Not that they sort of, like, are a modernized captain, but you can definitely still run them being a rainbow captain. They're just exceptional. Like, they give it 3.5 times attack and Orbis on the next turn. The Toki ability, just, like I said, breaking the fundamentals of the game and just not allowing you to be affected by debuffs is so strong and is the one reason I have the character at number 1 compared to the rest of these particular characters. But let me know your top unit in the KIZUNA. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section below. While you're down there, though, make sure to belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Unfortunately, like, obviously, like, we're getting KIZUNA Legends every single month, and they're definitely not summonable. Like, look at these characters that have come out of late, like, that are just, like, no. Like, they're just not worth summoning for nowadays. But if you are looking for some really good characters to bolster your account, when, say, the Super Sugos come out, these are the ones here that you want to be looking for. But like I said, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, if you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's